Want to keep up with the latest in GT Productions activity? Then join our Patreon today. Patreon users will get early access to episodes of Auxillary the Grand Tour, and our Mizari clan gain access to download our own soundtrack, created by our very own Julian Allen Wilson, the voice of Josh Moore. Patreon users will also get their names added to the credits for their contributions and many other aspects along the way. Also, be sure to keep in touch on our own personal Twitch channel, where our series creator, Brett Keenan-Evans, will be showcasing the workings of the Auxillary the Grand Tour, currently in Arc 3. Thank you for your support, subscriptions, and likes. Keep it up, and enjoy the upcoming presentation. The following presentation is not intended for younger audiences. It contains bad language and violence, and also touches up on sensitive topics. Viewer discretion is advised. Auxillary the Grand Tour is property of GT Productions. Though select background and select background songs belong to respective owners, other backgrounds, tracks, and the entirety of the Auxillary the Grand Tour plot, characters, and storyline belong to Brett Keenan-Evans and GT Productions. Advise against using content illegally. Thank you.
You're pushing me away, so pull me closer. Our story's just beginning, it's not over. You're pushing me away, so pull me closer. Our story's just starting, far from closure. Sacrificing who I am for you, for your peace of mind. Sabotaging who I am for your safe space in place of mine. I can't keep pretending to be this. I can't keep protecting you all the time. I just hope one day we can end amidst this battlefield of broken promises. You're pushing me away, so pull me closer. Our story's just beginning, it's not over. You're pushing me away, so pull me closer. Our story's just starting, far from closure.
My name is Brett Keenan-Evans, but you know that already. I am a rookie member of the Kasanji clan. That there is Lace Evers, the leader. Charmer, isn't she? Once I introduced myself, I had to be reminded of my former life. Yep, I was the former leader of the Mizari clan, and was responsible for the Chrail East High 18 massacre a year prior. Of course, after explaining the story of the massacre, I was enlisted to the Kasanji clan and fought in the first round of the World School Clan Championship against the Goga clan of South High 21, and went up against clan captain Marco Tade, where my other side managed to make a grand reappearance. After the match was decided, Dr. Isaac Kamarov, the man responsible for my rehabilitation proceeds, told the world of a new battle-enhancing phenomena called adrenaline rush mode, a name of my invention, mind you. It may have explained my own chaotic form in a sense, but I digress. After the second round, in which I had to relive a moment of my dreaded past, a former member of the Mizari clan appeared before me, Zyra Tayin, or as I knew at the time, Zai. She had told me her side of the story, in which I became the Mizari clan leader, and the herald title of the Demon of the Mizari was born. In the quarterfinal playoffs, member of the Kasanji clan Naomi Moore was caught up in a fashion war against Cynthia Noran, the world's most popular teen fashionista around. Thankfully, I was able to stop the war, even if Naomi sadly lost the battle. Zyra during this time also demonstrated her own adrenaline rush mode, but it was to my surprise the exact same as mine, except she wasn't able to control it. Something I was able to remedy with, in my opinion, less than preferred measures. Zyra confessed she was in love with me, and had been for some time. Sadly, I wasn't able to reciprocate these feelings and made her aware of it. But things got strange when Calvin and Zach re-emerged after we managed to buy a spot into the final match against an unknown clan that had been behind closed doors, bypassing their way to the tournament. In my views, the world government had a hand in this, and they had a good hand in it since my massacre got underway. This alongside the fact that Calvin and Zach were not only possessing the same chaotic mode as me, they were allowed to remake the Mizari clan, dubbed the Neo-Mizari clan by world government's laws, and from there challenged me to a 1v2 grudge match. After some pick-me-up words from my team and new friends, I underwent hardcore training to bring myself back to my Mizari days, but with control over my rational mind, and thus, the demon of the Kasanji was born. With Lace's help, we were able to win the match, sadly at Calvin and Zach's expense in life. After an altercation with Riot Patrol that was stopped by World Government leader Victor Turnbull, the Kasanji clan had won the regional World School Clan Championship, and as a result, qualified for the World Series in Paris. And with that, let the story continue.
I still can't believe this is actually happening. We're representing our country in the World Championships. This is amazing!
Yeah, I'm so happy for you guys. It's amazing to think you've come this far in such a short time. Might be because of the 2 members that joined your team, but you never know.
What are you doing here, Raimundo?
Oh, they didn't tell you?
They don't tell me anything, so spill.
Well, it appears that the commentator being used for the World Championship is French, and well, his English is not great to say the least. So they wanted someone with a little more universal speaking, so to say.
So how much did you bribe them then?
I didn't need to pay my way in. My talents as a commentator are second to none. $20,000.
20,000? You made of money or something?
I mean, I earn a decent yearly salary, but I also don't go blowing it on many things like most people do in my line of work.
Reiko. Your last name is Cornrow, right? This is your private jet, isn't it?
Just to add to that, Raycon hostels?
Just how much are you worth?
Okay, fine. I won the lottery 2 years ago and went on a splurge. These are investments that would keep my income flowing so I didn't end up on my ass if this gig went south. Jeez! I didn't want people to know because you know how they can be. Oh, hey, Ray. I used to be your teacher's best friend. Can I have $50K for my son's operation? Oh, hey, Ray. I'm your sister's boyfriend's third cousin twice removed. Can I borrow some money for a trip to Vegas?
Oh, how about you give me 30 grand or I kick you in the ball so you don't have kids to leave inheritance to? What? It's what Lace was probably thinking.
So what if I was? Don't need to speak on my fucking behalf. Besides, it was going to be a joke. Kinda.
Kinda?
Oh, cram it. How far are we from Sydney's airport? These things are fucking uncomfortable as shit.
About 10 minutes. Do you guys even have accommodation in Sydney? Come on, really? This isn't a stop and go. We need to refuel and stock up supplies that we have to take over to Paris. We're staying at least overnight. You didn't read that part of your flight plan?
Oh yeah. Guess I glossed that part.
Me too.
Ditto. I thought it was just a recommendation.
I just didn't read the flight plan.
Typical Lace.
What? Huh? Oh, go eat a dick, you asses.
But seriously, you should probably book somewhere.
Leave it to me. I know a guy there. Alright, he can hook us up. Turns out that he has a new sleepout that accommodates up to 10 people, so we can stay there overnight. I know where he lives, so we'll rent a car and head there. It's about an hour out of the airport, so it shouldn't be too hard to come back in.
Well, you are the only one who can drive at this present point in time. Could you, not drive like a supercar driver, though, when we do? I've heard you're a little rough behind the wheel.
Sure, I guess. We're probably going to need a minivan or something anyway, so I wouldn't dare to drive that to the limits. Come on, you can't just cut me off like that, you prick!
You said you would do better!
I would, if these dickheads knew how to Who the hell taught you how to drive? A cardboard cutout?
I actually am quite enjoying myself.
Typical Lace.
Don't make me come back there.
No. Let me unpack everything while you be dramatic.
Hey, you made it safe and sound. Long time no see.
Yeah, good to see you too, Uncle Brendan.
Uncle Brendan?
Huh? Why did you call him Uncle? He's my uncle.
Brett, Lace, calm down. I'm both your uncles.
So wait, Brett and Lace are cousins?
Is that a coincidence or just some bullshit spewed for drama?
No, they're not cousins. You're siblings.
Siblings?
Twins, to be exact.
How the hell could they be brother and sister? They've never met each other up until a year ago, almost.
There's a reason for that. Look, come inside, I'll make some tea, and I'll tell the story. So, when their father and mother conceived the two, there was a bit of tension in the wake of things. Brett and Lace's father was a bit of a bad boy in his younger years, and as a result, the idea of having more than one child was a little frightening for their mother to cope with. It was made even more worrisome for her when she found out she was having twins, a boy and a girl. But the biggest part that broke their mother's heart was who she would have to pick to give up for adoption. Well, their father made that choice rather abundant.
No girls in my family. I bet something along those lines, huh?
Sadly, the decision was probably more sound when you two were born. Brett was a quiet and normal baby. Lace, well, was rambunctious, rowdy, and on occasions would actually hit Brett to try to make him cry. So, unfortunately, Lace was given up for adoption, and Brett was raised by his biological parents.
What a sad story.
Fucking pigs. That asshole father of mine didn't want me. And my fucking mother didn't even fight for me. I'd love to find them now and kill them for making my life a fucking misery!
Huh? You haven't told her, Brett?
Uncle, please don't.
But she deserves the right to know.
She doesn't. Nobody does. Please stop.
And that's all the more reason she needs to know. For crying out loud, Brett, I understand why you did it, but it doesn't mean I condone it.
Just fucking shut up and tell me what he did!
Huh?
Just tell her then.
Brett killed your parents. Both of them.
He did. What?
Oh my god. That's the missing piece. That's what started all this, wasn't it? This is what you didn't want to talk about right away. But
Why the fuck are you hugging him, Zyra? Why is it always you who fucking steals everything from me? My life, my family, and even my fucking ambitions!
At least you got a family that fucking loved and respected you! If only you knew what kind of hell they put me through. No, forget it. I'm going to sleep in the van. Good night.
Brett, wait!
This is all a shock to everyone. Leave him be. Mitzi, go after her. Make sure she doesn't do anything crazy.
Won't do much good. But I do need to put this into analysis. My computer is back at the guest house, so I won't be long.
All this time, and I never knew. Did they know and fail to tell me? Fucking pigs. Ugh.
It's just me, Brett.
The one thing that ticks me off the most, Uncle, is that you of all people never told me. Why?
Because I thought your parents had already. I honestly thought they would have at least let you know you had a sister that they gave up for adoption in the off chance you might go and find her. But you did anyway.
Only by coincidence. I was sent to that school by the world government. They can't have known that either, so it was just one big ironic case that the school they sent me to would happen to be the place my long-lost sister would be at, and I would by that ironic chance join her clan and fight at her side. I'd marked her clan and her for death when I was leading the Mizari. I was going to kill my own sister and the only blood-related family member I had left. At least that lived in New Zealand.
I know the stories. As I said, Brett, I don't condone what you did. My brother wasn't the easiest person to get along with. His marriage with your mother was on the rocks, but you probably already knew that anyway. He was always dead set in his ways, and as Lace put it, he had no desire to raise a daughter when he had a son.
So sell her to the fucking streets and keep her brother a secret from her? Why didn't you tell her she had a brother?
Because her foster parents told me to never mention it. They didn't like your parents, and they wanted to make sure she was unaware of her real family. Who would give her up on such a pathetic reason? So I kept quiet, but still kept in contact with her. Look, I'm sorry this all had to happen so suddenly. But look, for what it's worth, I'm glad to see you're back to normal. What I read in the papers and saw on the news, it shocked me to my very core. You definitely were your father's son, but much, much worse.
Ugh, normal wouldn't exactly be the right word to cover it. Tell me, did my father ever kill anyone?
Not that I'm aware of, but there were days where I worried he might kill you or your mother. I guess you beat him to that punch. But why your mother? She was innocent in all this.
I didn't. At least, consciously do it. I just got so angry. Then suddenly, I woke up bathed in their blood. and savoured it. I didn't mourn,
You don't need to go on, Brett. I get it. But look, you need to do me a favor, now that you know the truth. Keep your sister safe at all times. You two may be nephew and niece, but I also hold some responsibility as acting role model to you both. And I would love it if you two could see past these issues and be a family.
What do you mean? Lace still has her adoptive parents, right?
You never heard? Lace's parents were murdered one night. Nobody knows who did it. It's still an active cold case, but they haven't been able to turn out a single suspect.
Lace?
No, she wasn't there. Or that was what she claimed. Evidence confirmed she wasn't there. Besides, their deaths were brutal and savage. More like an animal attack than humanoid.
I'd do it, Uncle. But I don't even know if she'll talk to me after this. She's right in one way. Everything she strived for, vengeance, notability, and her family, I stole it from her. She'll never forgive me for that.
I've known Lace a long time, Brett. She has a temper. She can act out of line, but she does have a sensitive side, deep down. When I told you two that you were related, I almost saw a sparkle of happiness in her eyes. But she shrouded it because she tries to be tough around her friends, so they don't think less of her. To be honest, I think I saw it in you as well. But you distanced yourself from people. You don't want to hurt them, and them to hurt you. I know you well enough too, Brett. Don't do that. Bring people in. Make friends. Find love. Make peace with your sister before you lose her for good. Anyway, it's late. You have an early flight. Get some rest, mate.
Hey guys, I hope you're well rested because it's a solid 10-hour flight from here to Paris. Well, I'm more out of the loop than I probably should be aware of. What happened last night?
Probably better not to ask that till we get to Paris. It's not something we can talk about right now.
No fooling! Brett and Lace are actually twins separated from birth? And Brett killed his parents, of which started his path as the demon Mizari? Man, no wonder you guys are so down in the dumps. How'd they take it?
Lace blew up, Brett blew up, and now they haven't said a word to each other since.
Or anyone for that matter.
Zyra, I'm sure he's just trying to adapt to what he's heard. He'll come around in no time.
I know, but all this time, I knew something was amiss when he went from a lonesome boy who people picked on to a bloodthirsty maniac who killed those who deserved it and didn't. But I couldn't work it out, and Brett wouldn't tell me anything. But now I know. He killed his own parents and was probably provoked into doing it.
It must have been the awakening of his chaos gene.
Chaos gene?
It's basically something people can be born with that predisposes them to violence if triggered. Brett and Zyra are carriers of it. Zach and Calvin had it injected into them and then something to control them. But that control led to their deaths.
Wait, if Brett and Lace are siblings, then that means Lace could be a carrier to the Chaos gene too.
Would explain a lot. Oh, come on. You're not telling me I'm the only one thinking that, right?
In any case, world government seems to have a keen interest in those possessing the Chaos gene. Otherwise, Calvin and Zach wouldn't have been used as guinea pigs for their experiment, right?
They have something in mind, but I can't get back into their network to find out. It cost me a whole year's worth of savings just to get this new laptop.
I can try to find some stuff out for you guys. I mean, I don't know so much about the world government or anything, but I am one of the members of the WSCC committee group, so I might be able to use that influence to at least figure out how the two are connected. It does seem weird how invested world government is in these tournaments. And I don't think it's just purely for profit either. Something else is among the masses, and I'll do what I can to help out.
Can I sit?
Go for it.
Look, for what it's worth, I'm sorry that last night happened. And I can imagine it's all a huge shock to you. Certainly was for us. To think you and Lace are twins, it's like a turn of fate or something. But something is clearly bothering you. It's why you're not talking to Lace, isn't it?
Jack, do you remember what I told you when we first met a year ago?
About how you had marked the Kasanji clan for death when you were at Mizari just before our supposed exhibition match? And of course, your riot massacre.
Just before the riot patrol came and intruded, I had made plans to go straight to West High 19 and destroy it and kill your clan. Now think about that in my position. Go back to that day. Imagine riot patrol had just missed me, or they were never tipped off by Calvin and Zach. I come to West High 19 with the Mizari clan. We massacre it, kill you, Lace, Naomi, Josh, Mitzi, and everyone else. I then get captured by Riot Patrol and brought back to what you see today.
Then knowing that in your rampage and unknowing means, you wound up learning that one of those you killed in the attack was your own twin sister. Yeah, I think I see where this is all coming from now. You bear guilt on the idea that you had marked your own twin sister for death, and could have very well have committed that sin having already dealt to your father and mother. You're a strong individual, and you've built quite a shield up around you, but...
Had I known my own sister was killed by my hands, yeah, nothing would have saved me then. That would have been me on the pike.
Man, I don't envy your place in the world at all. You had the power and notability, that much any person would wish for, but to basically tread over those you cared about to do it, whether conscious of it or not. The fact you still stand today is real dedication to yourself, Britt. You should be at least proud of that.
Every day is a blessing, Jack, and I don't mean that sarcastically, but I am still haunted with the past, and knowing what I know now, they're changing. I had a nightmare last night that I ended Lace's life, but it felt like it was more than an omen than a dream. Jack, I fear that I'll be the end of Lace's life, either by my own hands or by my own actions. I can't do that. Not now.
I get that. But she's gonna need you more than ever before, Brett. I told you she hasn't had the greatest of life herself. Her adoptive parents were murdered, and she was moved from foster home to foster home. But her actions kept getting her kicked out, so she ended up being given a place of her own, and she's had to scrap for survival. She's been hurt many a time before. That's why she put up this veil of toughness around her. She's scared of being hurt again, Brett. And she's probably hurting right now because her own brother, that she probably has yearned to have, won't even talk to her.
How long have you known her, Jack? I don't think I've ever asked that.
Pretty much all my life. From kindergarten right through to now. She was a quiet child. Same as what Zyra said you were like. Then one day she came to junior high and was suddenly very bratty, obnoxious, always trying to be the top dog in everything, threatening people, threatening staff and faculty. The corporal punishments renewal was like her birthday, Christmas and New Year's, all in one neat little package. I had joined the Kasanji clan under its previous leader, Michael Burns. Then one day Lace came along and challenged him to a fight. Winner got the leader's spot. Michael had her on the ropes, but then suddenly she snapped and brutally assaulted him. He later died in the hospital. But as a result, she became the leader and commanded our group.
In other words, her chaos gene triggered.
Right. Because you two are twins, it means she'll be a carrier for it too.
Which means world government will be after her too. This is why we shouldn't let this news go public. The last thing I need is world government targeting my sister as well. She doesn't need to go through the hell I went through. I won't let that happen.
It might be too late. Raimundo probably knows now. And he'll likely spill the beans on live television.
Too late. He bleeded.
Is it really that big of a deal? I mean, in the grand scheme of things?
For corporate deals? Sure, we're sitting on the proof of that.
In any case, Brett, I'm gonna go back to the others. Might give Raimundo a pasting for that bleat. But just talk to her. Get to know the real her. Knowing she has a brother, it might make her open up. Something clearly I can't.
You like her, don't you?
Personally? I'm not sure. I mean, I respect her highly and have nothing but praise for her, but love? I've never seen her in that way, and even now probably don't. She's just my friend. Even if I might not be to her, but I'd do anything for her. Even throw my life on the line to keep her safe.
Guess we both have that much in common then.
Blah 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 blah.
You like her, don't you?
Even if I did, would she like me back? At this point, we should probably go register our team into the tournament. It's not that far to the Aurindo Dome d'Implosion. So, could we walk down?
Sounds like a plan. Shall we all go? We can go out for a meal afterwards.
What the hell?
You lot go. Brother made a mess over himself. He probably doesn't know how to operate a washing machine. So time for sister to offer him the first and best advice he'll ever get in his lifetime.
Sure. Go ahead. Thanks.
Okay, sure. Let's go then, guys. I'm expecting her to initiate it. Oh well, it's for the best, I guess.
We'll save you a seat at the restaurant. We'll text the details to where we go.
You could have just told them we were staying behind. I know the shooter's black, but it can still stain.
Would you have stayed if I had just asked? Probably not, big baby. Look, I got stained too. You don't see me making a big fuss over it.
Then give it to me before it gets permanently stained.
What the fuck? You may be my brother, but as far as I am concerned, we're still complete strangers. I don't just strip for anyone. Besides, something you said to Uncle last night made me think we need to get this shit resolved.
You were listening in on us?
Of course I was. I wasn't sure what Uncle was doing when he came to you, so I wanted to know if he'd say anything bad about me or anything. I hate people talking behind my back, okay? So what? Who does?
He's worried about us. He thought my parents would have told me about you, but didn't. He knew your parents wouldn't talk about me, and he wanted to tell you, but he couldn't. He just wants us to be happy and be a family.
It explains a lot, though. How you can push my fucking buttons so easily. I somewhat knew, at least. I had my own theories, at least. Growing up, I always felt like I was missing something from my life. Something that was taken from me at birth. But I couldn't pin it down. It makes sense now.
The funny thing is, I felt the same way, but I probably didn't realize it more until well, you know.
No, I don't know, Brett. But I want to. How did you do it? Why did you do it? I knew growing up that my parents weren't my real ones. I wanted to meet my real ones, to know why they didn't want me. But you took that from me. You took everything from me. I want to know why you took them. What the fuck did they do?
It's not a pretty story. Zyra probably told you how I went from normal to twisted in a single day. The day that changed everything for me. But even she doesn't know what happened to me to become that way. I wanted to keep it from people, so they would never repeat my mistakes. But if this helps us understand one another, then you have been warned. It began the night after I was bullied by Simon and Mason. I never would have believed that I had a long-lost sister, and it being Lace of all people. Now she wants to know how I could have done such a horrible act in murdering our biological parents. I guess it's as good a time as ever to reveal such a story. Next time, the origin of the demon of Mizari. This could be a dark part of the story. You have been warned.